Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and this is the Takstar SGC-598 microphone. This microphone is primarily meant to be used on top of DSLRs for the sake of interviewing purposes and just being able to capture better quality audio than your DSLR's internal microphone is very likely not to capture very well. So I got this for about $36 on Amazon, and I really want to try it out because I am in need of a microphone next month while going to E3 and filming interviews, and I'm going to need some at least halfway decent audio. And these inexpensive options such as this Takstar here, based on my research, seem to be one of the more favorably reviewed ones. So this microphone, it is powered by a single AA battery, and it can fit right on the top of your DSLR's hot shoe mount, although the hot shoe from the microphone to the camera doesn't actually do any kind of communicating. It's just there so that you can put it on top of your camera for ease of use, and it'll just plug right into the microphone port on your camera itself. So let's take a look at the back and let's see what we get inside the box. Okay, so first things first, let's see what's in this box. We're just going to open this up, lift this up, and actually we have to flip it around, see what's in there. Okay, and then under this felt is the microphone. It's nicely presented, if I do say so myself, and this is what the naked microphone looks like. Of course, you're going to have yourself a little shield on here to keep the peas and stuff from popping too much, and this is the part that you mount onto the hot shoe of your camera, and you would just twist this to expose this part a little bit more. And then on the right, we've got ourselves an on-off switch in the middle. That's that dB gain from 0 to 10. And then as for this, I actually have no idea what that is because I just opened this up and I have to look at the manual to find out what that's all about. And flipping on this side, there's nothing there, and this is where you will plug directly into your camera. So to my understanding, this microphone will output on left and right channels, so you won't have to go into any kind of audio editing program in order to get the audio to go out the left and the right side, so you don't have to worry about people only hearing things from one ear as opposed to both of them. This microphone apparently takes care of that. And then we have these black clippy things. I don't know what those are. I'm going to have to read the instructions, figure that out. And then finally, of course, we have the foam that you will put on top of the microphone just to eliminate some of the excess noise, some of the p and s. So yeah, that's really all you get in the package. It's very simple, but you know, we have to test this out and see how it sounds. So I'm using a lavalier microphone now, so now I'm just going to switch over to this microphone and we'll see how this sounds. I'll give you all the details once I start up that recording. Right now I'm using the onboard mic of the D7000. Sensitivity is set to high, the loudest as it can possibly go, and the Takstar mic is not plugged in. I'm standing about 3.5 feet away from the camera, away from the microphone, and I am in this room that has very little ambient noise. So the test that you're going to see here and the test that you see with the Takstar microphone, I am standing pretty much in the exact same position. So I am assuming that what you hear from this recording and what you hear from the Takstar recording, there's going to be a world of difference, because this one is going to sound quieter, it's going to sound maybe more, you know, like I'm somewhat further away, but in the Takstar mic it should be able to condense all that stuff and just bringing it closer, bringing it more fuller sound to you. That's all I can possibly assume from that. So this is what it's like on the D7000 with no adjustments made in post, just straight out of the camera using the camera's onboard mics. What you're hearing now is coming right out of the Takstar microphone. I set the dB gain to 10, and on the D7000, the camera that I'm using, I set the mic sensitivity to high because there's only a few options you can choose from on the D7000. There's low sensitivity, medium sensitivity, high sensitivity, and auto sensitivity. And I wanted to keep things as consistent as possible and as loud as possible, so I set it on high. The distance between me and the camera, or the mic, is maybe about 3 feet. I'm pretty close. But I think that in an interviewing environment, like what I'm going to be using this for, I'm not going to be 10 feet away across the room. I'm going to be pretty much right in front of my subject, and I'm going to be capturing that audio that way. So if you're going to be using this for interviewing purposes like I am, I think that's a respectable distance as well. I'm also inside. There's very little ambient noise, so you might not pick up on that. If you do hear a little something, it's probably the ceiling fan, but I haven't changed anything in post. So if you're wondering what this Takstar sounds like coming out of the camera, like the D7000 with no adjustments made, this is what you get. So I'm outside now. It's a little windy, it's a little cloudy, but at least it's not burning hot like it usually is. But anyway, I'm using the onboard mics. Sensitivity is turned up to high, and I am about a good 5-6 feet away from the camera right now. And this is what everything's going to sound like. I'm going to imagine that maybe you might hear a little bit of wind noise, but if you don't, I'm definitely not going to sound as close as I did when I was in the room. So let's see how the Takstar fares in this situation. And I'm using the Takstar mic now. dB gain is at 10, and the camera, of course, its mic sensitivity is set to high. I'm in the same position that I was before. There is a wasp. Oh god, there's so many wasps out here. But anyway, this is how it sounds like on the D7000 with those settings, still standing at about 5.5 to 6 feet away from the camera outside with a little bit of wind. It's not a very windy day, but there's still some wind nonetheless. So there you go. How do you think this microphone sounds? And when I listen back to some of the things that I recorded, I do notice that there is some hiss with this microphone, which is to be expected. So what I'm doing now, this is the only clip that I've edited the audio in, is instead of keeping my D7000's mic sensitivity at high, I bumped it down to medium sensitivity. And then there's still 10 dB gain on the Takstar microphone itself. Because I noticed that when the higher you raise the sensitivity of the microphone levels inside the camera, then that's going to make the hiss more prominent. So I just back down the sensitivity a bit, and then if the audio is still too low in post, I'm just going to raise it up, and we'll get a decent idea of how it sounds that way. There is really no ambient noise in here. There is maybe a little hum from the PlayStation, but that's pretty much it. And you know, for $35, I think this microphone can get the job done in a pinch if you're not doing something that's really for professional type of things. It's not a terrible microphone. It is definitely better than the microphone that's built into your camera, but you're going to have to make sure that you are at a decent distance. You can't be too far away from the people that you are talking to. It is a mic meant to be used for interview purposes, so you want to get up in there, you know, you want to get close to them, and you don't want to be too far away because, you know, you're going to have to really push the audio up really far in post, and it might not sound all that great. So for the purposes that I'm going to use it for, and from what I can see here, I think for $35, it's fine. It's no road, but it's fine. You can take this and determine whether or not from this video you like how this microphone sounds and whether or not it's good enough to suit your individual needs. For right now, for me, I think that this will get the job done. So thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll see you next time.